Erie County taking a tougher than ever approach on domestic violence, and this is why. New numbers show of all women murdered last year in New York State, almost half were killed by their husband or boyfriend. In Erie County, from 2010 to 2014, 29 homicides were the result of domestic violence, and experts say 1 in 4 women will be a victim of domestic violence in their lifetime. Now, with the help from Washington, Erie County is hoping to step in to help others before it's too late. Focusing on high-risk cases that could result in homicide, law enforcement will work hand in hand with resource centers to help victims and hold abusers accountable. 7 Eyewitness News reporter Jill Perkins spoke with one woman who wants her survival story to inspire others to get help.
My lowest point, I considered, one morning getting ready for work, I considered driving right off an overpass. That was my lowest point, and I thought, I can't do that because I would leave the kids behind with him.
That's one of the reasons Suzanne Sukan says she went back to a husband who physically and emotionally abused her for years.
And, you know, I'm sure people are watching this right now and saying, oh my, she's so stupid. Why would she stay? I would never stay. If somebody ever hit me, I wouldn't. It's not as easy as you may think to pull out of it. And I mean, you're buried by all these feelings of helplessness and hopelessness, and because you don't want to share that you think you may have been weak to allow this to happen.
But it does happen. 1 in 4 women and 1 in 6 men will be physically abused by an intimate partner in their life. And stopping the abuse can depend on what resources are available to a victim.
I think it's really important for resources to communicate with each other. To close that gap and bridge it would be awesome. It is a much needed service.
It's a service the Erie County Domestic Violence High-Risk Team aims to provide by assessing and examining high-risk cases to determine interventions and prevent the risk of homicide and reoccurring assaults. Suzanne says she uses her story to advocate and help victims of domestic violence, and she knows getting out can be a complex and scary process, but not as scary, she says, as living in fear and abuse.
It took a long time for you to get into that point, because it doesn't happen overnight. It's going to take you a bit to get out of it as well. Make the decision, this life isn't for me, I want to live. It doesn't have to be like that. You don't leave yourself to be a statistic.
So what are some warning signs and red flags to help identify if you are in a domestic violence relationship? Suzanne says for her, things were gradual, starting with mental, then physical abuse. The Erie County High Risk Team will focus on cases that are likely, though, to result in a homicide. A few red flags in that case would be, has there been choking or strangulation? Are there weapons available to your abuser? And has your abuser been able to evade or talk their way out of an arrest or a situation? Now, some of you might be able to identify the warning signs better than others on your own, but this right here is actually a checklist that the High Risk Team will use to help pinpoint if a partner is abusive. I'll post this on our website, WKBW.com, plus more resources, a hotline number, and other information about this new initiative here in Erie County. Jill Perkins, 7 Eyewitness News.